right, hello everyone and welcome to another Vintage Cube video here on my YouTube channel. Today we have a special treat. This is actually my favorite tournament structure. It's a 64-player elimination draft, which means there are 8 pods of hopeful cube drafters. There'll be one winner of each pod, and those players get to draft again, which is obviously the goal here, but basically, I want to draft a good deck that gives myself the chance to play for the marbles. So keep in mind, one loss and I'm out. Okay, I mean, this is not a hard pick at all. I just pick up Ancestral Recall and I'm very happy about it. I'm going to note what I'm passing here. I'm going to be passing Solitude, which is great. Caracas is great. Triumphs are always good. Then we have a card like Bitter Triumph, which has risen in people's estimations these past few weeks. And then just some cards like Vendilion Click, like serviceable cards. Lurus is a build around a lot of people like, but I mean, come on now. Ancestral Recall, even with the old art. What a start. Okay, this pack is interesting because I immediately look at the blue cards to try and back up my first pick, and Mystical Tutor, go gets Ancestral. Great. There's also Force of Will, which is a great way to stop nonsense, and the card advantage from Ancestral Recall kind of helps me put a band-aid on the card disadvantage on Force of Will. I'm leaning Force of Will between those two. What else have we got here? Hymn Torah, hard to cast, but awesome. Tundra, great land, obviously. Pairs with fetches, etc. And not much else. I mean, I do like Currency Converter, and I also like Hellrider in mono red, but yeah, I'm gonna take this Force of Will. Great start. Card advantage and free interaction. You can go a lot of ways here. I'm just gonna, see the next pack and kind of take it from there. But generally, I like most archetypes in Cube. There's actually only one that I don't really like the lands heavy ones with, let's say, exploration, fast bond, and stuff like that. I'm not really too much into those. Okay, so now we're kind of back to reality here. Not an awesome pack by any stretch of the imagination. There are a couple of blue talismans. There are Troll. Troll is, I mean, obviously great as a fixer. Go get Underground Sea, go get whatever. And then if you get a little bit of reanimation, the Troll is awesome. Also, Raw Green Triome. Maybe that's my pick. Yeah, this is for me between Troll, Raw Green Triome, and Talisman of Progress. Yeah, I don't mind taking the Triome. It's good, like 3 different colors. Let's see what's going on. It could easily be like blue-white, blue-red, or straight up Jeskai, who knows. I'm just gonna keep my options open, I would say. Okay, so here's a fetch. Immediately I spot the fetch land that kind of pairs with the Raw Green Triome. That can be like a cool tiebreaker for a pick. Xander's Lounge is cool. It's 3 colors, but the Wooded is also 3 colors, potentially 4, because I can go get green. So I think Wooded is just better than Xander's Lounge. Of spells, we have solid cards like Stone Fortune, Shark Typhoon. Not great cards. I'm not gonna pick them over a 4-color land. So let's just stay flexible here on our second color. Okay, so here the best spell I think is Kaito. Shizuki is a solid planeswalker. It's a shame my lands don't really function with it, so I'm actually looking at Hallowed Fountain. I'm trying to like bolster a Jeskai mana base, let's just put it that way, if I pick that card. The other option is Savannah, bolstering the 4-color, the flexibility of Wooded Foothills go up, which is not nothing. I'll go with Hallowed Fountain here, see what's going on. This is a pretty weak pack. No real like signs yet. I'm looking for like a sign that, oh, red is going to be my second color, or white is going to be my second color. I'm looking for signs that kind of push me in either of those directions. Also, I don't mind picking up just solid blue cards. That was definitely an option as well. This is interesting, right? Because Ancestral Recall is a very, very good way to start the draft. But you also kind of have to find your footing and just build like a consistent deck. Taking lands is definitely one way to do that, right? Okay, so this is another pretty weak pack where I can bolster the Jeskai mana base, which is pretty funny. I think I'll just do that with Plateau. I mean, Flametongue Kavu. If I'm gonna cast red cards, I would prefer that they were a little bit better than Flametongue, but I mean, Flametongue is also decent. So a lot of Jeskai lands here. Ancestral and Force of Will. We can support double white. We can support double red in a pinch. Let's see. I think Fire Covenant is the best card in this pack. The question is if... let me try and see here. Is there a chance I'm supposed to be mono red, splash the Ancestral? How do I do that the best? Will I play Najila in like multicolor? Really, I doubt it actually. Oh, these cards are so bad. I guess Prismatic Ending is not that bad when I have 3 colors. Okay, Prismatic Ending, solid removal spell. Let's take that card. But I'm gonna keep my eye out for if mono red is just straight open. Let's say I play mono red, then I can play Wooded Foothills and Triome and splash the Ancestral. Okay. This pack doesn't exactly help me. I actually think that the Trumpeting Carnosaur is kind of cool. Very big value card. So if I take that, I try and go into like bigger Is It? Yeah, I mean, okay. Wheeling the Bitter Triumph even. So over here, I'm gonna take Vendilion Click. Vendilion Click is just decent blue card. Let's try and stabilize into the Jeskai colors. The Grim Lava Mines did wheel, which is super late to go into red. I hope I'm not gonna argue too much more about that and just get my solid Jeskai deck going. That would be better. Vendilion Click is decent. That's like Shark Typhoon tier level blue card. The Murktide Regent wasn't that bad. Huh, Hellrider. Really, it's really tempting me here. I think I'll stay the course. I could have had Bomat, Mutt, Hellrider, Flash Ancestral Recall. Yeah. This is probably gonna be better for me. Time will tell if I'm Izzet or Azorius. Hard Evidence can be a decent card. I mean, if you're looking to have artifact synergies, if you're looking to block and buy time early against aggro, pitches to Force of Will, it's not that bad. Okay, this is a cool choice actually. I'll go for the Stoneforge and make sure to look for an equipment during the draft. There are more red cards here. Okay, so status after the first pack is very good fixing in the Jeskai space. Good interaction, card advantage, and then I'm trying to fill the curve with decent interaction, decent proactive plays. I think that's a cool recipe. So I need an equipment for Stoneforge. I need to figure out if I'm leaning red or white. Okay, yeah. First pack done. I mean, I would say maybe slightly above average. Thanks to Ancestral Recall, it would be quite a bit below average without that card. But that's how it is sometimes. A lot of variance to these cubes. All you can do is like try and impact where you actually have a say. And yeah, I think I did a reasonable job. Also identifying the red without going for it. Not the best, maybe. Who knows? Next pack. Children is awesome. Not much to say about that card. I don't think I can play it though. I think Fury is close enough that I'm just supposed to take Fury. There is Batterskull that I'm hoping to wheel for the Stoneforge. And of course, Chain Lightning is a great card, but I think Fury is just better. Fury, yeah. I mean, Fury is great. I also love Palantir. Palantir I'll play in most decks, to be honest. You don't even have to be aggressive or play like Giga Fatties for that card to be good. Let's try and wheel the Batterskull, shall we? With a card like Fury, that card wants you to have more red cards in your deck. So I'll have to think about that, right? Let's say I have a close call between a white and a red card. Fury is probably going to be the tiebreaker. I'm going to take the red one. You could easily end up in like Izzet / Stoneforge Mystic. I basically I prefer to be 2 colors with a splash rather than just 3 colors straight up, because that adds so much variance to your mana base. So here, this card is Archon, but ship has kind of sailed on that. I'm passing Sheldon and Archon to a lucky player. That's just great day at the office. So here it's between Volcanic Island and Goldspan Dragon. Goldspan Dragon is cool, but it's kind of replaceable. If I just get perfect mana, that has so much value. I'll try with one more land pick, and then hopefully get a direction soon. Get a hint on my second color. I mean, it's pretty... I would say it's very likely it's red. This Delayed Blast Fireball is even decent. 3 mana, 2 damage sweeper to the opponent and all creatures they control. And then it's like bonkers later. It's like good Mission Motors, I would say. I guess 2 mana kill a X4 is the corner case. Cool pack. Very cool pack. Lots of great cards. Like another black bomb for the Black Drafter in Gristlebrand. Monastery Mentor versus Flash versus... Yeah, maybe that's just it. Monastery Mentor. That card be crazy good, or is it like replaceable level and I just go Lightning Bolt and try and be a little more red? I can see that actually. Mentor is obviously insane with Ancestral Recall, but maybe that's not the situation I'm supposed to focus on. Lightning Bolt is just, yeah, that's a great card. Great removal, Planeswalker removal even, and finish players off. That's a good card. Okay, so Fury and Lightning Bolt definitely welcome additions to the deck. Volcanic Island to make sure I can cast my spells at all times. Wow. Ooh. 4th pick for Theolingus. That is a very strong card. I was actually happy to see the Mana League at first, but for Theolingus, come on now. That card is great. That is just a great card. Okay, next pack. This is my, let's say, on-color Monastery Mentor. I'm actually going to take that. I think the third path Iconoclast. I like the cards that reward you for playing Magic, and this Monk is just one of those cards. Treasury, I mean, I like that as well, but very happy with that card. Wow. Atraxa and Jace the Mind Sculptor. We passed the Flash, so I'm not gonna end up with a way to cheat Atraxa into play unless I randomly get like Sneak Attack or Through the Breach. So I don't think that's how I'm supposed to play. And I'm just gonna take the Jace the Mind Sculptor here. Not what it used to be. Still a solid card I would always play. This pack has Dig Through Time. I could say the same about this card. Not really the same, but actually I do like it. We can put some cards in the yard, like fetches, cantrips, counterspells, interaction. I like Dig Through Time. I'm not scared to play that card. Brazen Borrower. That's a fine card. Just like a solid card to round out your deck. Okay, so we have moved closer into is it splash white, which I like. We wield the Batter Skull. Okay, I almost missed it. Perfect. Let's take the Batter Skull. Now the Stoneforge is worth our time, so to speak. What about this one? Will this deck play Tribal Flames? I mean, I'll take Tribal Flames. If I just get like one more Triome, it's pretty reliably like 3 or 4 damage, and I like it. So yeah, that's not a bad card. We're definitely looking for some counter spells. So I was just about to say, what are we missing here? We're doing good on win conditions. We're doing good on card advantage. We're doing good on fixing. Cheap interaction. Wow, the mentor even came around. But I think I'm gonna go with Daze. I really like Daze. Just tap out for something. Daze should play. I really like Daze. It's just yeah, it always does the job for me. Okay, great pack 2 for us. Top pick in Fortheolingus. Bolstered our fixing. Found a direction with the red. Paired up the Stoneforge with an equipment. Yeah, yeah. This is gonna be good. I'm really hoping to find something just like a counterspell, spell pierce, something along those lines. That would be awesome. Let's see how many white sources I've just have built in my mana base. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have 4. So as we speak, the prismatic ending is not making the deck. That can easily change. Like, let's say I get like white, red, something Triome, white, blue, something Triome. Then all of a sudden, the Tribal Flames becomes better. I can probably even support the ending. So yeah, fixing is still in high demand, but yeah, so is getting good cards. It's always tough to find the balance, I would say. These cards don't do anything. I guess, what would I rather face? Turn 2 Confidant or turn 5 Titania? Maybe I actually take my chances on the Confidant. So when you're playing a pod, you can give a little bit of consideration to what you're passing. For instance, I think I have passed the perfect black deck to someone, which is not the best, but we'll see. Meanwhile, we pick up a free Treasury. Treasury is solid. I mean, I like that card. Let's see how we're doing on playables. 13, 15, 18. So we're doing very well on playables. So we can even spend some picks updating our mana, I would believe. But maybe the packs. Whoa, baby. I was about to say maybe the packs won't be that great and we have to settle, but come on now. Time Walk and Ancestral Recall. This is shaping up nicely. Beautiful card. Time Walk does it all, right? More land drops, cantrips, more attack steps, more planeswalker activations. What a card. Okay, can we wheel anything out of this pack realistically? I like Dak, Valora Bringer, Mox Diamond, Snapcaster Mage, and Prism. If I wheel one of the artifacts, I'll be super happy. Wow. Time Walk. Woo-hoo. Oh baby. So when you have insane cards like this, 1-for-1 answers just become premium in my opinion. The more you can kind of delay the game, and then oh, there's Ancestral Recall, and oh, there's Fortheolingus, the better. Super sick. Next pack has a True Name Nemesis alongside Detection Probe and Burst Lightning. True Name Nemesis. That is just a card where if you go burn your creature, counter your spell, and you just start attacking, like that card is so strong at closing out games, or even stabilizing games. Like, I really like that card. That being said, Detection Probe is good with Third Path. It's good with Force of Will. Well, so is True Name, I guess. It's good with Dig Through Time. It's tough. It's a tough card to pass up, but I actually think I like the True Name here. Even put a Battle Skull on it. And you're the greatest. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Also, have to remember there's probably the Broken Reanimator deck in the pod that I might have to face. But I mean, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. Like pick Atraxa, pick Sheldred. I don't think that's the way to go. This pack is terrible. This pack is really not strong. Does Intuition do anything for me? No, not really. Intuition is kind of a cool addition, but also very niche. What about the Saheeli? Will I play 3-mana token engine? Probably not. Frantic Search, not too big on that card. Here, I guess it can be okay to hate pick something. Maybe just hate pick the Corpse Dance. That was very unfortunate, just receiving more or less blanks. Okay, so here's Sneak Attack's a scary card, but Fire Ice is just serviceable. I'll take Fire Ice. Yeah. Okay. Fire Ice is just solid, right? Ping some small creatures. Hopefully, Time Walks targeting a land, cantrips, pitches to force. Good with Dig Through Time when you fill the yard. Just a lot of stuff. Actually, now I have enough playables to just play 17 lands and submit my deck. So now I'm looking for upgrades. And that could be cards like Firebolt, maybe Prismatic Ending, the Tribal Flames, maybe. I'm not 100% sure about that card yet. Let's see if we can finish strong in this pack. Skull Clam. Skull Clam can be searched up with Stoneforge. Is good with Iconoclast, but not really much else. Council's Judgment is double white, which I would rather avoid. I can take either Jace and just, jam that card as a card advantage card, or I can upgrade my mana base with Otawara and have like a flexible land that deals with stuff. Great question, actually. I don't think I want the card advantage Planeswalker. Yeah, Skullclam is a good one. I just don't have many synergies with it right now. Okay, that's a pretty late path to exile. I'll happily invite that card to the deck over something like Firebolt or Tribal Flames. I'm not 100% sure yet. Probably the Tribal Flames, since it's only a situational deal 3. Do I want Bauble in my deck? Yeah, I think I want Bauble because Iconoclast and Dig Through Time. Yeah, Bauble is reasonable. I only have one fetch, but just having the Delve spell and the token generator makes it serviceable. Yeah, so now I have a deck with 16 lands, which I would happily submit. If I get an upgrade for Firebolt before the dust settles, great. But let's see. I did. I think both Force and Negation and Flame Slash are better. I'm going to take Force and Negation because I think I want to guard against Broken more than guard against fast creatures. Force of Will and Force and Negation with good card advantage. That's awesome. True Name, Third Path, and Stoneforge as my, let's say, tempo threats. Late game. Wow, the Snapcaster Mage wield. Sick. Ooh. That. Now I have Snapcaster with Time Walk and Ancestral. I didn't expect that at all. Wow. Yeah, this deck is awesome. And even with tools like Bolt, Ending, Path, Fire Ice, Delayed Fireball, Fury even, we're not that likely to get run over, I would say. Maybe I play Firebolt over Ending. Not sure. Burst Lightning, that's better than Firebolt, I think. The instant speed can definitely do some damage. Wow. What a deck. Now I might need to cut a card. Is that true? I mean, it really isn't a problem. I think it's easy for me to cut something like the Carnosaur. Maybe that's not the right card to cut. Treachery, maybe. Sideboard Treachery, sideboard Delayed Fire Blast. Not really the name of the card. Delayed Blast Fireball. Okay, what about these? Yeah, I don't really mind. I can't remember if there's anything I can wheel in a perfect scenario, but I'll check. Definitely check for it. Yeah, which card am I cutting? How am I doing on win cons? These cards don't do anything. Maybe take the anti-grind card. How am I doing on win cons here? I have Batter Skull, Fourth Eolingus, True Name, Icon. Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's okay to cut very late snuff out. Maybe it's okay to cut the Carnosaur. The thing is, it's just decent 3-mana deal 3 if you draw it early, and then later it can be insane. But it's bad with counterspells. I guess I draw the card. Yeah, I'll definitely have to figure that out during deck building. I think I need to cut one card. Whether it's the Blast Fireball, ooh, just free upgrade for the mana base, sure. Whether it's Blast Fireball or the Dinosaur, not sure. So let's just move the cards around a little bit to a place on the curve that is actually realistic. Like Fury is also a cheap card. This is a 3. This is a 4, so is that, I would say, on average. So 15 lands with Bauble, Ancestral, Walk, Fire Ice. Is that... Maybe sideboarding the Blast Fireball is how you play Magic the Gathering. Yeah, I think this is the best. So let's have a look at the mana base. How many whites do I have for free? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 1 plains would be ideal. Let's try and add 1 plains and see if I have enough of the other colors. How many blue do I have already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pretty great. 8, 9, 10. Okay. Let's count red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 already. So if I add 4, I get to 9. Then I have 9 red. I think 8 red is plenty. So maybe like this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blue. Great number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red. Acceptable number. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white. Is that it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white. Okay. I think this is how you build the deck. I'm gonna submit this and get a drink of water and be ready for the first round. Thank you so much for sticking around so far. See you for the matches. Okay, here we go for round 1 of the 64-player vintage cube draft. On the draw here with a 1-lander without Ancestral Recall. So yeah, let's put that back. Okay, this is a keep. I'm not super excited. I bottom a mountain. I'm looking to draw something to do until I can play Jason Treachery. And then I'll be fine, but this hand can also just get run over. Batter Skull doesn't exactly help that cause. Fire off the probe right away. Remand. Remand is a great card against my deck in general. This could hopefully lead into a longer Drago situation where I kind of get into the game, can find a good spot to fire off some good spells at instant speed. Okay, we can also just, force the issue here. I think that's correct. Be the third path Iconoclast. Kind of get the remand out of the way. And then play from there. I think that's better. Otherwise, you can try and find a spot with Ancestral Recall or Dig Through Time on the opponent's turn. I also have Vendilion Click. Also, with the third island being played, I'm very interested if the opponent is some kind of combo deck. That would be pretty likely, I would say. So yeah, Plains is a terrible draw because it doesn't even let me cast the Jace the Mind Sculptor in my hand. Okay. Going with a Malcolm. I like Malcolm. Malcolm is the upgrade to Looter Il 4 and Suspicious Stowaway, I think. Which is just Looter with some added value. This card even has more power. I hope my opponent's not discarding any synergy cards already, because then that card can get out of control. Obviously, I have the Fire Ice for it. Okay, opponent has a great hand. If you discard Currency Converter, you have a great hand. From Monolith. Yeah. So, I think we're playing against some kind of combo deck. Bounce land. Okay. Force Negation, I think that's a great one, because this deck is probably not messing around with fair stuff. I think on my opponent's upkeep, I'll fire the flyer. 1/1, get a token. I mean, this is decent. I hope to draw an island so I can keep playing Magic, keep triggering my third path. Then I have the counter spell. If I draw a non-island, I can jam the Batter Skull. That's also fine. So right now I'm soft to a big creature, unless I draw the island for treasury, which is decent. Okay, main phase fetch. Opponent is setting up some more colors now, except aside from the three islands we saw in the beginning. Okay. Time was great. Time was the best cantrip ever, right? Get in for damage, even create a token. Okay. Awesome. Subtlety. Subtlety eats the third path, which is unfortunate. Now I'm extremely interested in finding the island. Then I think there's a high chance I put myself in a good position. Yeah. This is a blue source. Not the one I wanted. I wanted to treasury that card and deploy Batter Skull, get in for damage, and sit back on Force Negation. That didn't quite happen. I'm definitely scared now. The opponent had how much mana? 4, 8, and they fetch for the 9th mana. Okay. The opponent looking to trade 3 damage for 2 damage here, which is basically what the attack would represent? No, not this time. Okay. Three mana. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. I can't let that happen. The opponent has infinite mana here. They're holding priority for the LED. Okay, so this is a good situation for me. Let's see what's the best situation for me. Maybe it's just to go Treasury, then Batter Skull. So I'm pitching the Jace. Countering the draw 7 against an opponent with infinite mana. Seems like a good play. I have 2 good plays up my sleeve now. So now I have to, fade some draw steps, I guess. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Untaps. Play Batter Skull. Attack for 2. How much damage have I got next time? I've got 9, so I have to fade 2 draw steps. It's definitely doable. It's the best I could get of this situation. Narset is a good one, so hopefully the danger is mostly gone with the wheel, but Twister and Spiral do exist. So does Echo of Eons. Cameo. This is very lucky for me. The wheel got exiled thanks to Force of Negation. So now I might have to spend a turn killing off Planeswalkers. The good thing is I can kill both Planeswalkers with my creatures. The math checks out exactly. Since I have 9, I'll send the Subtlety on the Narset and then the rest on Cameo. Ooh, the opponent's digging for a specific card. The opponent looks to have a sweet deck. Name's Time Spiral. That's super scary. Bricked on the time spiral. I draw a Daze, which is probably not super useful. Narset, Cameo, Cameo, Cameo. Getting rid of the walkers, and we're back to where we started. I need to fade 2 draw steps. That's one of them. Stoneforge Mystic doesn't tutor anything, if I remember correctly. I'll just play it out. Yeah, doesn't tutor anything. Get in for 9. Do your worst. The opponent has Hull Breacher and Narset with at least 2 draw 7. The wheel that we know about and the time spiral that was named, right? Okay, so we take game 1. The opponent gets a free piece of info. Let's see how we can adapt to... Looks like we're trying to go broken. We have Woodfall Primus in the deck, so either Flash or Sneak. I mean, I really like ending against that deck, and I have 0 other sideboard cards. That's unfortunate. So what do we not need? You can argue hard evidence is not that great. Let me check the blue count in this deck before making that final decision. Subtlety was also annoying. My blue count is 15, which is more than a third of the deck, which would be something like having 21 or 22 blue cards in paper, or in paper in like constructed. I'm gonna cut either the evidence or the trumpeting Carnosaur. I'm probably gonna cut that. Hard evidence pitches to 2 forces, so I think that's reasonable. Okay, scary, scary, scary deck. I mean, I have my forces. I have 2 forces in a Daze. That's not a lot of counter magic. Basically, that game was me having to counter 1 spell, and then I could kind of beat the rest, which is... I think I was running pretty hot there. I think in like an average game against the deck, maybe you have to counter like 2 big things or you're toast. Also, I got away with the supper, let's say mulligan, right? I even had my Iconoclast eaten by Subtlety. Yeah, this hand is super slow. I can play this turn 3. Let's say the opponent's draw requires a lot of setup. I can play this turn 3, try and spiral from there. Yeah, gotta keep this off of the fact that if I draw Force of Will or Force of Negation within the first couple of turns, I think I'm just... Yeah, that's basically all I need. Okay, that changes things a bit. Currency Converter is a good one. Currency Converter is also especially strong if the game like drags on. Then it can become challenging for sure. Path, yeah, not exactly the card I want here. Converter is activated. Yeah, the thing is, my deck is not, aside from, let's say, Stoneforge Mystic and True Name, my tempo plan is not that great. Also the Iconoclast. Yeah, Narset is just so strong because it even turns off Ortholingus, turns off the Monarch. Yeah, the opponent passes the turn here, which I like. Huh. Brazen Borrower, the draw for the turn, which is a flashy card that... It is a flashy card that I can interact with the Narset with. Let's say they activate, then I can end step it and kill it. Let's say they don't activate it, then I can bounce it in response. The rest, great card. The good thing for me is Duress doesn't take care of Brazen Borrower. But right now I'm hoping the opponent is between a rock and a hard place with like a wheel effect in hand. They don't want to pass the turn. They don't want to cast it. That's like the hope here. Ortholingus hits the bin. As I mentioned, it didn't do anything against active Narset, so there's that. I'm gonna flash in the Brazen here, hope to finish off the Narset. Let's see if that happens. Opponent fetches. I wonder which response. Okay, fair enough. Maybe thin and then remand. No thinning, no remanding. Huh. The Nemesis. Let's attack the Narset here. If we get that off the board, that's huge. Okay. So now I have to choose between digging for stuff to do and deploying True Name. This actually smells a bit of Hull Breacher. Yeah, I can sense a Hull Breacher from a mile away here. I'll hold up the white for my path and play around Hull Breacher, draw 7. Okay, no Hull Breacher, draw 7. Currency Converter has been activated. The good thing is I have evasive creatures here. Where does the Primus go? Stays in the yard or under the converter. Okay, it's under the converter. Perfect. Super scared about that Hull Breacher. My opponent milled away the last game. That's a funny thing about Cube. So you see a great card, and then you're going to play around it. If you didn't see that card, you would just have gone straight in. And sometimes that's better. Like having the information in Magic and doing something useful or sensible with it and not overthinking it, very hard. Sometimes you can, so let's say I never play this Jace the Mind Sculptor, I never activate it. And then I just lose to other cards in my opponent's deck because I didn't dig for Force of Will. But I didn't want to lose to the Hull Breacher, right? So sometimes you really have to find a good balance and bite us some sour apples. Let's see what this is. Probably Spiral, yeah. Okay, so here's the Time Spiral. The opponent gets to act first with 5 mana. But we get a fresh grip and we play a lot of forces in our deck, so not that terrible, I would guess. Okay, so is this just... I think if I get the turn and an opponent doesn't interact, it's lethal. Because I can take 3 turns in a row. Flame Slash that. That definitely stops that plan. Talisman. So let's see if this is some kind of build-up from the opponent. Looks like it. I didn't really do the math on like Stoneforge Batterskull while time walking, but let's see. Okay. Let's time walk. Let Stoneforge. Go for Batterskull. Let's attack for 3. I have to keep in mind my opponent has Remand in the deck, so let's see. Ooh, great card. Is that better than a Batterskull? I doubt it. So let's cast Snapcaster Mage. Plateau. Time Walk works. Yeah, this is a pretty sweet turn. Game's not over, though. Oh, I missed tap. Let's see. Activate Stoneforge, put Batterskull into play before my second extra turn. Untap. Ortholingus. Okay, so the opponent didn't interact until now. I think the opponent would have remanded the Time Walk after the Snapcaster pretty easily. So let's see how much damage we're working with here. If I go 4 Theolingus for 5, that's 10 right there. Yeah, that's easily lethal. So I think that's how you play Magic. Is there something to be said about prismatic ending on the currency converter? I'll try. That's like, I don't even know if it has any use. The opponent, no, they don't have mana drain or anything like that. Hmm. So right now on the surface, the opponent wants to make a blocker for Batterskull. Okay, yeah, that doesn't even cost mana. Okay, that was just terrible. No, I was not supposed to do that. Because, yeah, okay. The opponent knows I'm casting 4 Theolingus. I'm attacking for infinite here. Yeah, what a sequence. So I drew the Brazen Borrower. The opponent duressed and saw that I kind of had the draw 7 angle covered. They had to pass. Then I developed a true name, pulling up Path to Exile for the potential Hull Breacher. They were forced into the draw 7, where I drew the means to go Time Walk while developing Batterskull. I mean, that's just some bonkers stuff. Very good showcase of what Time Walk can do. Like seemingly, oh yeah, how bad can it be, right? But when you get the extra attack steps, all the mana advantage in the world, and a couple of more draws, yeah, it can just be a brutal thing. So we got rid of the draw 7 deck in the pot. There's still the scary black deck, I would say, that I passed Archon, Sheldred, Gristlebrand to. But yeah, so far so good. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, let's be back for round 2, shall we? All right, welcome back to round 2 of the 64-player Vintage Cube elimination event. On the draw once more, opponent on a mulligan, and I'm keeping a very unexciting hand, let me put it that way. I do have interaction turn 3 or play out True Name. Ooh, the opponent has turn 1 Soul Ring. Okay, that'll definitely help most unexciting draws. Let's see how the opponent can capitalize on turn 1 Soul Ring. Turn 2 Grief. Hardcast. That's not every day you see that play. Opponent gets to see True Name, Carnosaur, and the freshly drawn Batterskull. True Name hits the bin. Third path's a decent draw because my deck is set up in a way where cards like Ancestral, cards like Time Walk, cards like, Fire Ice, all the cantrippy stuff, they can kind of turn into more cantrips, more spells, and a card like Iconoclast really likes that. Let's see if the opponent can follow up here because oof, that was brutal. I think I'm taking the damage here. I do have an answer for Grief. Could have double blocked, traded off third path for the Grief. I'm not ready to do that just yet. Also, if the opponent has had a removal... Okay. Well, they did have a removal. I think I'm supposed to just kill the Grief and move on here. Yeah, I like that. Kill the Grief. Pass. I did draw a land, so now I have 5 lands to play Batterskull on time. Evolved Sleeper. Necromancy the Grief. That's a beautiful one. Oh, my bad. Necromancy the Carnosaur, obviously. Okay. So, there's that. So now I can... The opponent only hit a Mox off the Carnosaur to discover. I was confused for a second what was going on. I have Otawara to put the card back in my hand. And then after that, I have Dig Through Time. So I mean, I like my spot here. If the opponent is some kind of white-black mid-range with some reanimation package, I think that's beatable. Let's return that to hand. That's my fourth card in the yard, sorry. Which makes Dig Through Time castable. Just a card like Dig Through Time is so good in this deck because you look so deep for like Ancestral Time Walk, that stuff. Bitter Triumph. What did the opponent do? Okay, the opponent... Wow, this is awesome. Okay, so instead of giving me back the Carnosaur to hand, they killed it off, then killed the rest of my hand. Okay. Yeah, this is a great game. This is a great game for sure. So now the opponent is a little bit ahead because of the Vault Sleeper. Opponent can make a 3/3 in attack here. I have some good draws, right? I play a deck with Ortheolingus, Twin Name Nemesis, Ancestral Recall, Snapcaster. Opponent has a 3/3. No land, though. We'll take 3. Draw Force of Will. That's not my favorite draw. So now the opponent can start grinding away with the last ability here. Draw a card, lose a life. That's perfect in a situation like this. Yep, that works. And I really need to draw something. Dark Writ. Huh. Okay. Cool. Planes. Is this time to block? I can do that. I'll prevent 5 damage. I need a good draw here. I have a lot of them, but I need a good draw. Huh. Hardcast Grief. Reanimate my thing. Edict away. Him. Let's just solid draw from the black deck here. The opponent caught me with great draw. The opponent kind of caught me that I had, oh, now I can Dig Through Time. Oh, now I can... No, you really can't, because you're getting discarded. Ortheolingus, let's see what that card can do in this spot. That's 5 creatures. I could see attacking with 4. If I attack with 4, I have a blocker here. The opponent can remove 1 blocker. They need to grow it. Yeah, I think this is like a way to try and win. Try and get in for 8. Get the Monarch. Try and finish off the game. Other consideration would be attacking with 3 tokens. Attacking with 3 tokens would be slower on the clock, but more, let's call it, safe. Oh, wow. Blue card. Maybe that does it. Me drawing the blue card. Wow, Ortheolingus into the blue card. Also, this is a good reason to just keep playing out your lands. So, for this deck, it's kind of obvious. I have Ortheolingus, so having 2 lands in hand, drawing Eolingus is going to be bad. But also, since my out was something like Snapcaster, Dig Through Time, just more good reasons to play out your lands. You need to say, oh, okay, I play like Brainstorm, and that's what I need to draw to get into the game. That's like a good argument for holding lands. I don't think me drawing Jace the Mind Sculptor there was like a huge argument for holding lands. Especially because I would need to bounce the Evolved Sleeper on the... if I drew it and played it. It's just good to think about. Reasons to hold your lands, reason to play it out. It's also the same with like early mocks. In like in your opening hand, are you scared of draw 7s? Are you scared of destroy artifact effects? Are you scared of what are you scared of? Discard spells, whatever. You have to weigh like pros and cons. For instance, in this one, I played against a draw 7 deck round 1, so I'm less likely to get twistered later against whatever opponent. I'm sure you get the point. Let's see. Okay, so the opponent's on Desperado mode. We have the Force of Will. We're in good shape here. Opponent's trying to clear the board. I have the Force of Will to go on top. That's so now the Spud removal kills me after forcing, which is scary actually. Fatal Push is in there. Snuff Out. Oh, maybe I hate pick the Snuff Out late. Ooh. Yeah, the Ealing is into the blue card was insane. Damn is good to know about. The opponent has mass removal. Seeing what I just saw, I'll bring in Prismatic Ending. I think I'm supposed to cut Force Negation against a deck like that. But the problem is I don't know how consistent my opponent's reanimation plan is. And maybe I can cut like Burst Lightning. It also depends. No, the planes in the opponent's deck, they're leading me to believe that I need removal. But I'm not sure I'm in Firebolt range yet. Okay, so is my opponent's deck does that deck have like a small reanimation package or big reanimation package? I'm gonna cut Force of Negation and gamble on small. I only saw Necromancy. I didn't see any insane fatty. And then I'm gonna keep my eyes out for whether Delayed Blast Fireball, Firebolt, and that kind of stuff should make the deck. Oof, I got lucky there. Yeah, this is another one of those hands. I'm looking forward to seeing Ancestral Recall. I think that'll just be an awesome change of pace. I keep against the Attrition deck. Just keep some lands and some spells and hope to survive into the mid game, draw some impactful stuff, and take it from there. Plains was not a good draw. First Lightning. Okay, so the opponent has a pretty slow start. There are so many good 3-drops in the cube. Okay, still past the turn. This is interesting. Fury is potentially a good one. So now I want to go Vendilion Click. See what's going on there. Chances are it's just a very, like, redundant hand, right? A lot of similar stuff to do. Okay. So how far is the opponent from Ritual Hardcast Ashen Rider? Couple of turns out. Okay. Hardcast Ashen Rider would be sick. What if I go remove the Council's Judgment, and I untap and I play Jace the Mind Sculptor? I kind of take it from there. I'll try. That's a game plan at least. So no Council's Judgment. Opponent drew a fresh one, and I know about these 6. It looks like, well, I haven't seen that these cards are good against my opponent's deck, actually. I've seen the Evolved Sleeper. I think that's about it. Besiege the Mirror. Okay, I kind of forgot about the tutor effect on that. So now most likely my opponent can set up Ashen Rider next turn. I have removal for that. Let's just play this Jason Brainstorm. Force will no blue card. That's unusual. So let's go. Oh, what if the opponent went for... What if the opponent went for something like Collective Brutality? That would be a good one. But actually, I think they went for the Triumph, which is something I should have thought about. But maybe I'll be fine. Yeah, maybe I'll be fine. So I put back Bolt in case I get discarded, and it's not obvious for the opponent that... Oh, okay. It's not obvious for the opponent I have double burn for the Ashen Rider, but it turns out the opponent putting Archon into play. Can I kill the... Yeah, I can actually kill the Archon. Huh. Okay, so kill that. Discard that. It's a lot of cards, but I think it's worth it. I can go Fury Pitch. My top card is Mountain. Really looking for a blue card here. Okay, blue card found. Put back 2 lands. I'll go Pitch, Fury, Lightning Bolt. No, wait a minute. I can go Bolt, Snap, Bolt. Then I don't have Force, but I do have Fury. Gone. Opponent's hand is Ashen. Okay, opponent's gonna hardcast Ashen Rider next turn, so let's do this. It's kind of a shame. I waste a lot of mana here, but that's just how it is. Take 4. Take 3. I force the Ritual Ashen Rider play. I have Jace going. I play Batter Skull, hope for the best, and ask for more. Vindicating that spell. I think I have to let that go because the Ashen Rider is so strong. So play Batter Skull. Opponent goes for the Ashen Rider line. I force, draw another land, and I have a Batter Skull against the rest of my opponent's deck. Super scary. Don't duress me. Ritual resolves. Ritual's gone. Ow. That's insane. The opponent has another fatty. Oof. So now with Jace gone, yeah, I'll just play land. Attack for 4. Wow, this game has so much action in it. I'm already... So the white could just be... Okay, Portable Hole. That's totally reasonable. That card is gone. Ophiomancer is a decent card to buy time. I always hate to play against that card. Batter Skull to hand. Opponent gets a snake. Recall. 4th. I'll actually shock myself here. Opponent has an Ashen Rider and 1 unknown in hand. Time is kind of ticking. Opponent has a play. Search for an enchantment. I wonder what that would be. Recurring Nightmare. Okay. Fair enough, opponent. You're full on reanimation. I get it. Okay. Oof. That's sick. I'm embarrassed for cutting Force Negation. Wow. Okay. So yeah, this is probably the reanimator deck we passed. Um. Maybe I just get rid of Burst Lightning here. Do I want more blue cards? No, I actually think I reasonably like. Maybe this card is not that good. But the Trumpeteer. Yeah, this seems like a tough matchup. I need to draw like some fast stuff like Stoneforge into Batterskull, True Name, some free counters, Third Path, Ancestral would be nice. Gotta say that. And if I can prolong the game, Yolingas can finish the opponent off in a few turns. I have Treachery if the game goes longer. Force of Will in my opener. Can't really say no to that. No red mana. Oof, Recurring Nightmare, Necromancy. Bristlebrand Archon. Very scary. And Tomb is also just such a great card. Just leave the fatty in the yard, and then I have to counter everything. Reanimation that comes after. Yeah, my opponent's deck is scary. I passed them so many good cards for that deck. Let's see if I can spike the red mana. Then I'd really like my chances. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna Force a Will the Entomb. I think if my opponent does not have a fatty in the yard, I'll probably be in decent shape. Play Icon. Get ready to play either Ending or Click. Mox, Plains, Vindicate that one. Makes a lot of sense. So now what do I do? Opponent draws a land. Let's click, see what happens. Hardcast Grief. I'm supposed to take that card. My opponent draws the land, then draws a fresh one. I draw a card. Having the 1 mana soak out my Force of Will and then killing my third path, that was brutal. Snapcaster Mage. So the opponent has land, Gristlebrand. Opponent is considering, yeah, exactly, drawing with clearing. So that actually helped my plan of kill Mox with Ending and try and hold my opponent down just a little bit, because they just sacked a land. It's actually a tough one. I think I flash in this Snapcaster and try and tempo this game on the back of the negation. I'll try and finish this game. I don't think I'm in a great position if this game drags on, to be honest. So I'll just try. Go for the throat. Or like Ophiomancer just crushes me. I guess maybe not. I can't play that card, I think. I don't think I can play that Stoneforge out. No, I can't play it. Wow. Ugh. So close. So this is a good example, actually. If I play the Stoneforge out, I can get super punished. If I don't play it out, I can lose to like some creature stuff. Okay. I'm willing to do that because it's just straight up lethal. For the Alingas, for the rescue. Wow. What a game! So much action happening in so short amount of time. I had to force early. My third path got killed. The opponent sacked clearing, so I wanted to try for a little bit of mana denial. I flashed in the Snapcaster to get in for some tempo to just shorten the clock because maybe I was just scared of like trading draw steps. But yeah, fourth year Link is just winning the game straight up, two games in the same match. That's just what the card does. It's so awesome, right? Here it's 4 mana deal 4, which can be just fine, right? Let's say the opponent had more life total. I draw a card. If that card is blue, I even have backup like the first game. That card is absurd. I was not supposed to get that like 5th pick, I think. Yeah, I think it was 11 cards left in the pack when I saw it. Okay, wow. We managed to escape the draw 7 deck and the reanimation deck, and we're looking to finish off the third opponent as well in the pod finals. And yeah, but I mean, no guarantees. I have a great deck. I've drawn clutch in close scenarios. I could easily have lost, and that would mean game over. So that's very important to think about when you play Magic. Okay, that does it for round 2. I'll be back for round 3, and I hope you do the same. Okay, here we are for round 3 of the single elimination 64-player cube draft, which is also the pod finals. We're on the draw once again, which is getting kind of annoying, especially because I'm afraid we're playing against like green or red-white or a combination of the two aggro. But I mean, what can we do? We have a hand with Force of Will. We have our 3 colors. We draw a red card. We can even go Fury. Okay, so maybe not an aggressive deck after all. Pollinate is to play from the opponent. Pretty interesting if this pod could support, I guess, blue-white. Yeah, blue-white. So whoever was interested in the Monastery Mentor during the draft. Let's see Ancestral Recall this draft. That would be very, very, very nice. Or this match rather. Okay, 4 colors. Sculler. Okay, so we might be playing against Black White Disruption. I'm gonna let this go. The opponent's gonna be very scared of Fury. Two Name is gonna be very good against that deck. I'm always sad to see a card like Sculler. It's so good. I never noticed the art before, like this small zombie in a small boat lighting the way. Cool looking card, no doubt. Let's see what the opponent takes here. I mean, Sculler could also just be a random element of an Esper deck or something. I guess we've seen red here. But okay, True Nemesis down. I drew the red card. Let's play the red land out so I have the flexibility to go fire your Sculler, untap, play True Name Nemesis. That's like my default play unless something changes. Strip Mine, sick. Oof, okay. Strip Mine is a good one here. I had the mountain. Okay. Yeah, I was supposed to play the mountain there. That was not smart. Because now that means I don't have white mana. Yeah. Okay, so I was supposed to have plat mountain in play last turn, because the objective was to potentially cast fire. Then I get stripped on either, and then I have the plateau left alongside some islands. That's just better. But I mean, let's see. Okay, the opponent is really showing 5 colors. 5 color. Yeah, I mean, my opponent's deck could just be some base green recur strip mine type deck, and then Sculler's like 23rd playable. Doesn't have to be an aggressive deck, right? The thing is, if I had Plateau over Mountain, I could draw Mountain and cast forth the Alingas. Now that's not the case. Now I have to draw one of my 5 remaining white sources for this card to ever do anything, aside from Pitch to Fury, obviously. Okay, Knight. Knight of the Reliquary. I'm gonna Fury that card and play a True Name. Brazen Borrowers, a fine draw. Deal 4 to the Knight. Play True Name. Pass. I have my Force of Will. I have my like evasive tempo plan of closing out the game. Not sure what I pitched to Force if presented with a big haymaker. I'm unclear on that. Tireless Tracker. Tireless Tracker. I think that's too strong. Let's see. Tireless Tracker. Play land. Maybe I'll... Okay. I decided to try and tempo out this tracker. If my opponent's spending time drawing with the clues, I can most likely capitalize. Noble. Okay. There's the mountain to kind of laugh in my face. I have to make sure I'm racing the opponent here, which I'm currently not. So I have to deploy one more creature. Okay, so this is some kind of land synergistic mid-range deck with some questionable cards like Sculler. Seems like the mana requirements of that card is not ideal for the deck. I should have a good time against this matchup, but I need to draw some of my like good cards, like Ancestral, not being forced to pitch Yolingas, etc. Let's see what kind of strategy the opponent goes for. Getting in for 4, I mean, that's super reasonable. Crew's not cracked, meaning the opponent has some kind of play. I'm scared I have to force the next play. If I force and I flash in the click, Frantic Search is totally fine. If I force and flash in the click, get in for 6, then the opponent can just go into like defense mode with Pollinate, which is not ideal. Yeah, I'm super scared about the Plateau because I have Path to Exile, I have Stoneforge Mystic. All of those cards are good draw, would have been good draws rather. So now what am I looking for? Ancestral Recall, obviously. Time Walk, Snapcaster Mage. I guess Icon would be decent. So Frantic Search, it's not, unless you're doing something broken, let's say, Sheldred. Sheldred and Crucible. Crucible hitting the bin, I'm kind of scared about. Okay, I mean, I have to counter that card. Not much to say about that. Tracker is racing. Trying to race, I guess. Yeah, let's force that. Opponent has 1 card left. I need to draw something in this game, I think. The opponent discarded Crucible. I guess right now the opponent doesn't have the mana to activate Culinate. Let's see the hand here. Bone Crusher Giant. Yeah, I need to give my opponent a new card. Fire Bluff Canal. Terrible draw. All I can do here is get in for 6. Yeah, my opponent did a good job here. The strip mine was great. I obviously made the strip mine more effective than it should have been. The knight demanded a 2-for-1. The Soul of Windgrace demanded a 2-for-1. And the tracker very well may have demanded a 2-for-1, but time will tell if I'm punished for that. Okay, the opponent drew a play, which I'm very sad about. Okay. Yeah, Glorybringer, that's probably not something I can beat. Okay, drawing that. Terrible. Opponent. What can I do here? I don't think I can do anything. Okay. Have to pass, I think, because if I attack... Oh, okay. I should have looked at my deck list. I think I have Burst Lightning in this deck. Let me just check. Yeah, I have Burst Lightning. So I think my only way to win this game was attack with True Name. Draw Burst Lightning, attack with True Name. I don't think this is a winning play. Despite me brick walling the tracker, the fact that my opponent has Glorybringer and can just draw a blue or white source at any point and just win the game. Yeah, I should have given myself the chance here. That's the way to look at it. Should have given myself the chance to draw exactly Burst Lightning here, but we didn't, so here we are. Let's see, what can the opponent do next turn? They can reanimate, Culinate, and just win. Okay, no reason to show them Path to Exile. Okay, tough game. Lots of mid-range cards getting thrown at me. I do like these cards in the matchup. They do kind of lose steam when my opponent starts to play like big creatures, but I don't think it's really a choice. So if I want to add 3 removal, maybe the Firebolt is not that great. Maybe it's just the worst of the bunch. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, tough matchup. I think it's time for this deck to have like sick draws like this. Okay, we can definitely play Magic with these cards. So I'm looking to not get stripped. Let's see here. Ancestral Recall. Turn 2 Icon plus Bauble. Yeah, I mean, this is awesome, obviously. Pretty awesome. If the opponent decides to strip mine me here, that's fine. Then we're just delaying both players. I have my land drops. Missing out on potential double blue later would be terrible for the True Name, but overall I think it's fine. Lots of action this game. The tank here from the opponent is not ideal. That means they had options, but okay. We get stripped. Develop the Triome. Still hang on to the Bauble. Oh! Okay, I didn't think about that. That's because I was supposed to play the 3rd path that turn. Okay. Okay, small mistake here. Could end up being okay and just a better play. But I think if I thought about it, I would have played Bauble. There is some world where we don't find the lands we need and we can get in trouble. I'll just look at my mana base. Yeah, I have Wooded Foothills for Volcanic Island available. Play Icon. Play Bauble. Draw the card right away because of, I mean, who knows? Maybe the opponent has Orcish Bowmasters. Horizon Canopy, that's not scary. Draw Plateau. So right now it looks like my misstep is an advantage for me that gave me one more token. That token is potentially one more damage each turn, so can lead to some like reduction of the clock. Caracas is a cool one. I'm trying to think if it interacts with Vendilion Click out of my deck. Okay, so that card got killed by Bone Crusher. Wooded Foothills gets me to second blue. Soldier token gets in there. Now, obviously, the Time Walk is worse. I think the opponent needed that Bone Crusher to stay in the game. Otherwise, things would just spiral out of control with the third path. I go Time Walk, I Lightning Bolt a random creature, game more tokens, more damage. Then the True Name can kind of close down the shop. Okay, so we're playing against 5-color Sheldred. That's very, very ambitious. So for obvious reasons, my opponent has high power level among their cards. But there should be some inconsistency in the mana. Opponent's taking their time here. I mean, I like that. We're playing for the privilege to draft one more time in the top 8 in the final at the final table. So obviously, you want to take your time and make your best plays possible. I'm very happy about having the True Name in play already. Have the Time Walk in hand. If the opponent just goes like the most obvious play of Bone Crusher pass, I can go Bolt it, get in for 4, cast Time Walk, and then if I have a land in my... Yeah, that's what's going to happen. If I have a land in my top 2, I can even play the Batterskull out on the Time Walk turn. Let's try that. Bone Crusher gone. Time Walk. Take 4. My turn. Force of Will. I actually think I'm okay with playing the Batterskull out and then forcing next turn. Because the payoff is so strong. If I draw a blue card, I can equip the Nemesis. But don't draw a blue card, I still have this 4/4 lifelinker. I have Hardcast Force up. Actually, I'm gonna reconsider the delayed Fire Blast Fireball if we go to the third game. Very well could be just 3 mana, kill 1 creature. Also, I have to spend 8 mana over the course of the game too, but I guess the deal 5 is pretty impactful. Opponent makes their 4th land drop. One is Horizon Canopy, so some damage incoming here. The opponent needs to play a card that kind of trumps the Batterskull. Even if I equip it, going for it. The True Name, it's terrible for the opponent. I have a lot of cards covered here. That's why I played out the Batterskull instead of holding up Force. Yeah, I was pretty. I mean, I was pretty lucky this game. I had Ancestral, I had Time Walk, I had land drops, I had incidental value. I have like an inevitable source of damage. I don't expect to be that lucky for game 3, so maybe I need a card like Firebolt. I saw Noble and Birds. Yeah, I'm gonna swap the Delayed Blast Fireball for Firebolt, just to have this bread and butter, kill your Birds of Paradise or Noble, and then hope that the game kind of is played at my pace, so to speak. My deck doesn't have any mana acceleration. I just have my land drops, right? So if I'm on the draw against the deck that's going to accelerate, it can be tough. Opponent goes for a tapped land. Is this... No, I have the Tribal Flames. This could be like Leyline Binding, getting rid of the Skull. Let me... 3 types. So Leyline Binding is a 3-drop. Yeah, this is a good situation. The opponent is trying, in my estimation, my opponent could be trying to hold up Leyline Binding. Okay, Rallier. Sure. So maybe now the opponent's plays take Strip Mine, hope I don't have 5 mana, which actually works like a charm. Beautiful. Beautiful play here. The opponent's giving themselves a chance, which is huge. I think I do have lethal here, obviously, because of the Fire Blast, but Fireball, rather. Yeah, I'm going to play that because I would rather show my opponent that card. Okay, so we got the job done with a great draw. Not too much to report, to be honest. Let's see. Firebolt over this. Yeah, I think I like it. Even though I have a lot of spot removal, still have like Fury, or let's say multiple stuff gets down. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can do better. Let's see if we can have one more good draw and clinch the top 8. That's the nature of the beast. You can be out in the blink of an eye, or you can go the distance and feel like a champ. Let's see which one it is for us today. Ideally, I have early interaction and an early play like Third Path, Stoneforge, or True Name to like back it up. But a lot of combination of cards here are great, and a lot are like super slow. I have a lot of slow cards in the deck, actually. The cool thing about the Dinosaur is it's a serviceable removal spell. There's a good chance it takes out like Knight of the Reliquary or Tracker early. And then if I draw it late, it can be a Haymaker that kind of swings the pendulum a little bit in my favor. It also pitches to Fury to make sure things don't get out of hand. Yeah. I like my chances here. I'm also, I mean, we're playing Cube Draft, so anything can happen, right? And the opponent has managed to take down 2 opponents of their own, so not counting my chickens before they hatch. Okay, another good hand. I'm not going to say great. I'm going to say good hand. 1 mana removal would have been awesome. Looks like we don't need it this time around. I'm fine with going to tap land here. If I get stripped, that's how it is. If I don't get stripped, I develop the third path. Yeah, I just have a pretty good plan if that card doesn't get killed. Opponent fixes their mana. Fetches and Triomes. That's just such a great combo. I wonder how many options the opponent has here. How many options do you have out of that deck? Maybe it's the strip mine versus normal land drop situation again. Badlands. 4 different colors of mana. Sculler would be awesome. Okay. 2/1 diver. That's very acceptable. Then I can go mountain, third path, see what is going on. Okay. Bauble is a great draw. Icon into play, which is something that I'm not going to say that my opponent has to kill, but it would be very tempting to kill that card, I would say. Opponent draws a Sacred Foundry. Still no green mana. And no Bowmaster, thankfully. Bowmaster would absolutely crush me there. Seachrome Coast, not the most exciting draw. We know about this procedure. We also know about that procedure. Okay. Opponent's looking to trade some damage here. Makes a bunch of sense. Now I'm most likely going to use my Time Walk to deploy True Name Nemesis. Time Walk, attack, True Name, and then we're in a situation we've seen before. Great draw. Snapcaster Time Walk is going to be useful. True Name, attack. And then let's see what the opponent can do with 3 mana available. Botanical Sanctum is a good one, no damage, and now they have 5 colors. Bone Crusher, okay. Flyer gets in there. Makes a ton of sense. Path is a good one. Not sure it's now. I think Snapcaster Time Walk is just too strong of a play here, even though it's only 3 damage. Snap, Time Walk. Back. And now I have to think about how tricky I want to get with my attack. Yeah, I think I like attacking. Because my burn spells can do some good things. If my opponent blocks the Snapcaster, I can Fire Ice. Yeah. Okay. So we're in a decent situation here. Clock is ticking. I have removal, even burn to the face. Note that 2 swings off the True Name plus a kick Burst Lightning equals lethal. We know 1 card in our opponent's hand is a Sacred Foundry. Shock here. Okay. Sheldred. So that'll do it. That's just lethal, right? Oh, Zurin Orb. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that worked. I was about to say it's lethal, but it's actually funny. That's the only like 0 mana card that saved the opponent. So I'm gonna path the Sheldred. And tough call actually what to do with the Burst Lightning. Oh, baby. What a draw. The Force of Will. Okay, so now I don't have to kick the Burst Lightning now. I guess I would have if, let's say, I draw a land. Then I'd probably supposed to Burst Lightning my opponent's face. Okay, so I obviously like my spot here. I can Force of Will my opponent's play, then I can attack for lethal. Opponent has to start sacking lands, and hopefully the Burst Lightning will do it. The path really came in clutch. I liked how I played the Fire Ice, finishing off the Bone Crusher and killing the other flyer. Let's see if my opponent can find some kind of meaningful play. The secret is they need 2 meaningful plays here. Or wasteland me, or like clear my hand. It's funny how the Zuran Orb kind of saved my opponent there from just dying on the spot. So usually you would play Zuran Orb with a card with cards like Crucible, Courser, maybe even throw in Balance for good measure for the combo. But sometimes it's just like a blank card. Let's see. Five mana. Bring to light. I'm just gonna force it. Then I'm attacking. Opponent has to sack 1 land to stay alive. Then they have to sack 2 more lands to stay alive after that. Fire Bluff is not going to help me. Can I do anything smart here? No, it's just my opponent has to sack 3 lands at the end, right? Yeah, I think so. I don't have any fancy timing here. Opponent goes to 2. Cast with Kicker. Sack 2 more lands. And that's the best I can do with the True Name in play. So now I'm kind of scared of Balance. Yeah, Balance, definitely. Wonder if my opponent has that card. I guess I don't have any decisions. It's just like observations that's a card that gets my opponent out of this potentially. Opponent takes 4, play land. And now it's time to draw a good one for the opponent. They need a very, very good card. Land. The 1 hit from True Name demands 1 land sack. If my opponent sacks Verdant Catacombs, goes to 1, it's sack 2 lands to survive against a True Name attack. I'm not counting the Soldier token here. I'm just imagining my opponent going crack Verdant, get a land, play something that blocks the token, but then they have to sacrifice 2 lands to stay in the game against the True Name attack. Island doesn't help me here. Sending the squad. Maybe my opponent has 1 more go at it for for the balance. I'm not sure I'm supposed to play the land out, actually. It's If I keep the land, my opponent goes draw land balance. My opponent keeps 1 card, I keep 1 card. Maybe that's better. I just didn't want to get into a situation where I just lose it from my hand. But I guess keeping this would have been better. Okay, we managed to get there in the end. I had some pretty sweet draws in the last couple of games here. I saw Time Walk, I saw Ancestral. I didn't get screwed over by Strip Mine. I just got the better end of the deal every time, right? And then when I'm clocking away, I draw Force of Will, which is also kind of like a time walk, right? That was just that was a beating. That was a beating for the opponent. Their deck looks sweet, obviously. When you have all the colors in the world, you play good cards. Like that's not really a big surprise. Whew. Okay, guys, that'll do it for today's video. Winning this match means I'm in the top 8, and that'll be a separate video. And that video could be draft portion +1 match, and I'm out, or it could be all the way to the finals for the glory. And yeah, I hope to see you guys there. And thanks so much for the support. See you next time.